trailerreviews.net and mtrnetwork.net with Phenom and Kriss here, and this is a movie that people have been asking us about, and we finally got to go see it. It is the Harry Potter spinoff, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Wait, this isn't Medea Boo?
Oh no, I know people were asking about us doing that one too.
Tyler Perry finally gave us screeners for Medea Boo 3 weeks later because people stopped going to see it now. Finally.
Wait, are you serious?
No, I'm not serious. They still.
Oh no, I was like, wait a minute, come on now. Like you know what I love about other people that listen to us now, that they know better than to ask us about a screener for that or a review for that movie. It took us a while. It took us the first 2 years. People would ask us some shit like that. But now they know better, and when Medea Boo comes up, they don't even bother. They're like, no, we're not gonna. Mm-mm.
You'll find a Trump supporter that shit sprinkles before you find a damn screener for a Tyler Perry film at this point. He's not letting them out.
Yeah, so
it's not happening.
Anyway, yes, the Harry Potter spinoff, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. The Adventures of writer Newt Scamander in New York's secret community of witches and wizards 70 years before Harry Potter reads his book in school. The director is David Yates, and obviously the writer is J.K. Rowling. This stars Eddie Redmayne, Catherine Watterson, Alison Sudo. Who else is in this? Ezra Miller, Colin Farrell, Zoe Kravitz.
She is really in this, isn't she?
Yeah, I mean, I saw that picture and I was like,
they really put her in the credits?
They put her in the credits, and I was like, wait a minute. I was like, wait, Zoe was in this film?
I was wondering if they was, because I saw her in the film, and I was wondering if they was going to put her in the credits. I was like, ooh, look, Zoe Kravitz. Is she going to be in the credits?
So look. Spoil. And I'm assuming that, because there's supposed to be 5 more movies of this, I'm assuming that at some point they're going to have her really in the movie. Because you see that, I'm like, wait a minute. If it's just a picture, you don't get Zoe Kravitz just for a goddamn picture.
It was like a gift. So does that count? Like, if you put a gift of me in your movie, can you put me in the credits?
I'm just like, listen. Well, first of all, I'm just like, it's a use it's a bad use of Zoe Kravitz. Because it's just like.
It is.
Because listen, if you can get Zoe fucking Kravitz in the fucking film, you put Zoe Kravitz on all her fineness in the film. You don't put her in no fucking black and white image. You put her in the goddamn film. All right?
Right.
That's why this film's a 2 out of 10. I'm kidding. I'm just
wow. But she was in it. I was like, oh, she looked good for 2.2 seconds.
Right.
That was.
Well, you know, it's one of the things you see her, you're like, wait a minute, was that Zoe Kravitz?
If you turn to sneeze, you will miss Zoe Kravitz.
Right. I was just like,
you'd be like, who are they talking about? Because they talk about Zoe Kravitz's character more than they actually like have her talk.
Right. It's like, wait a minute. This is I did not know you cannot do that. It's not enough Zoe Kravitz. Anyway, so let's talk about this film. First of all, I gotta ask you because I don't know where you stand on this. How many of these Harry Potter movies have you seen before?
I have seen 1, 2, all of them.
Okay. I think I've caught all the way up. I think towards the middle, I kind of just said, fuck it, I can't watch this shit. Like, they get better towards the end to me just because they're older. And I think
the first 5 films suck. Oh, and I know I'm going to get killed for this.
No, I'm going to get killed for it because people are not going to get you.
It's not like the first 5. How many Harry Potter films are there?
There's like 6.
Is there 8? Is there 8?
Oh, man.
Whichever ones don't have definitely in the title, Phenom does not like. And I have seen them all in order. I've seen 2 in theaters. I've had a long time to come to terms with this. I do not like Harry Potter films where the wizards are not killing people. And they don't start killing people until they get to the Deathly Hallows or whatever, the Deathly film.
Yeah, there's 8 films. I can say that I can probably do I can do.
And I've seen some multiple times.
I can do 5 to 8. I can do 5 to 8.
The ones 5 to 8. I can do 7 and 8.
Basically, the ones David Yates is doing all of the Fantastic Beasts films that are going forward. He's doing all those, so I can pretty much do all of the David Yates films. Here's the thing: I can't do the first 4 because they're kids and I don't go fuck. I'm sorry.
For me, it's the story. And what's weird is somebody posted a picture of all the Harry Potter kids that was at Hogwarts, right? Mm-hmm. All of them are actors. Like a lot of them are actors in popular shows or movies now. Mm-hmm. You look at them, you're like, oh my God, that's the kid from Scandal. oh my god, that's the kid from, but they're all adults now.
Oh, what's his name? What's his name is on The Flash right now, yo. So yeah.
Which one? Yeah, the ugly blonde kid. Yeah, that we met. I mean, he was ugly in Hogwarts, but he's a grown man now. Cool friend.
Well, now he just like he's a drunk.
Now he's an asshole to Barry.
Now he's an asshole to Barry.
I haven't seen Flash, so don't spoil anything. I don't know what's going on with Flash this season yet.
Oh yeah, no, he's just you know what you need to know. He's an asshole to Barry.
He's still a forensic asshole. Okay,
he's a forensic asshole. Yeah, there you go. So.
Yeah, he was really cool in person though, and he brought his own camera. He took pictures of us out in San Diego. He's a really cool guy. I'm not lying about. I'm not making that up for people listening. They're probably all brains being a no. He really was. He really did take pictures of us in San Diego. He's a cool guy. But yeah, my thing with the Harry Potter films was I watched them for the dark magic, and the first films had dark elements, but Harry Potter was this superstar that never really needed to step on the court, and I never understood why he was so damn special. And to be quite honest, by the time I finished the whole series, I still don't understand what was so special about Harry Potter. I felt like I can't even think of the girl's can't even think of the girl's name now. I felt like his not girlfriend, Weasley's girl. Was it? Oh my God! People can kill me for messing up this girl's name.
Yeah. What's her name? Yeah, we're gonna get killed for this.
No, it starts with an H. See, we're not Harry Potter readers. See, we don't. Hermione.
Listen, look, yeah,
Hermione. Hermione. I feel like she was the coolest person. I kept coming back for her. Like I was like, I like Hermione. I'm gonna keep coming back.
So I feel like this is a safe space, even though we're gonna get creamed for this. So I can fucking say
I listen. If somebody wants me to go back and watch them again,
no,
I will. Because I haven't seen them in years. But you're gonna get live tweets that are gonna piss you off because I'm gonna watch them as an adult. I'm not gonna watch them as like a 16-year-old kid. I'm gonna watch them as a 31-year-old black man.
So listen,
and I'm gonna have a lot of questions about Hogwarts and Muggles and Dumbledore.
Look, I never got into fucking Harry Potter films. All right, I just didn't. I didn't think they were good as people said they were. It's one of the things. It reminded me of Doctor Who when people were just like, well, no, listen, so look, the first 3 might not be good, but you gotta watch them anyway. So you can. I'm like, no, I don't.
No, you don't. No, actually, people, if you're an adult, if you're a grown ass person, just watch 7 and 8, and you pretty much got the Harry Potter films. Like everybody has hit the ceiling, and now the wars can begin. Like that's basically and 7 and 8 are the third act of the Harry Potter story.
And they've all hit puberty, so it's actually interesting.
Right, they're grown up and they're doing sexual things with each other, and there's something going on with Dumbledore that I don't know about because I didn't read the books. I don't care, but Harry Potter is one of those things where you're watching the first 6 films just to get to the third act.
Yeah,
and 7 and 8 are bomb. I'm gonna get killed for this.
We are, but it's important because I gotta say this. All right, so I'm watching this film, Fantastic Beasts. One, I'm already more interested in it because they're fucking adults, so I'm not dealing with a bunch of kids. But I'm gonna say this: I'm gonna have some good things to say about this film, but I'm gonna get this out of the way now since we started with some negatives. I feel like this script was a mess too.
Oh God, it was a mess.
Like,
okay, I thought I was tripping.
No, because listen, people are gonna kill us. But I'm telling you, you're gonna want. If you're a Harry Potter fan, you're gonna enjoy this movie. You're gonna go watch it. I think a lot of people are gonna enjoy it. I know the Rotten Tomato scores on it is high, but look, when you get past the Harry Potterness and your excitement of it, this script is a complete fucking
mess.
It is oh my God, it is such a fucking mess.
This is by far my favorite film from this universe.
No, that's the craziest part about it. That's the craziest part about it. I really liked
this movie. I thought this movie graphically was amazing. I liked all the characters better. Like even Colin Farrell didn't get on my fucking nerves.
Exactly.
I really liked this movie. My 2 complaints were, one, what you just said, it is a goddamn mess. God. And number 2, Eddie Redmayne whispers way too fucking much.
The Eddie Redmayne whisper now. I think it's official. It's now. It's been a couple movies that he's done this in because it was Jupiter Ascending. Remember he just comes on screen and I'm like, what are you doing in New York City? He's like, I have a box full of things and I don't really want to tell you about them. It's a box full of stuff. And but he's acting his ass off. Right, like he has all the mannerisms and there's a scene where he has to do some main call shit, and he is a fucking amazing actor. But when he steps into the microphone, he's just like, well, I captured these beasts and I put them in a little suitcase and I don't know what to do with them. I feel very confused as a wizard and I'm going to cast a spell and all hell's going to break loose. It's like,
Speak up, bro. Give me subtitles. Because I'm really interested in what you're saying. Even though you done turned into the Yin Yang Twins whisper
Oh my
song.
God, he turns into fucking Michael Jackson whispering in your girl's ear, yo.
That shit.
Listen,
by the way, if somebody can make a Fantastic Beast with Eddie Redmayne delivering all his lines like Michael Jackson, that shit would be amazing.
Listen, but he's an amazing. But look, so get back to the script. The reason why I say the script is a mess is because you have all these different characters and that are doing different things. Like there's a story here with everybody knows with Eddie Redmayne's character Newt Scamander and him these beasts escaping out of his case and having to get them. But that story is so much different and it's so unrelated from the story that the villain and the evilness that's going on. Those two don't really mesh at all. They never really.
There are two different movies going on.
It's two different completely movies. And at some point, I'm watching this film going, "How are these two stories going to connect?" And then it was like, "Oh, they don't." Like it's like you literally have a movie inside of a movie here, and it's just.
It's actually a movie beside a movie.
You're right.
Because they're happening at the same time on screen, and the only character that binds them is oh my God, this is her name? I'm going to call her Tina, because I'm not going with Porpentina Goldstein. I don't even know how you pronounce that.
Oh, Catherine Waterston's character,
But Tina, Catherine Waterston's character. Tina is the only connection between the two stories that's going on here, and I didn't realize she was the connection until the end.
Right.
I didn't get that. Like, I started seeing shit, and I was like, oh, that happened?
Well, and what it makes no sense. Like, they throw it in there, and they throw that connection in there in a sequence in the movie, and then Scamander brings it up, and you're like, but why didn't you guys see that before? Or like I said, like, I'm sorry, this is I believe J.K. wrote the screenplay for this.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. It's a mess. Like,
no, you know what it is, though? You know what it is? And I'm about to win some brownie points back. While I feel like it is a mess, I also feel like it is genius. Because they leave so much shit unanswered.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Or they assume the screenplay, and I'm not even going to give them fault for this one. The screenplay assumes that
they're getting 5 movies.
No. They assume that 80% of the people going to see this movie have read the book, if there is a book.
Well, no, that's the thing. This movie is based off of, like, I think a fake textbook from, like, so the movie is inspired by, but it's not like the Harry Potter
material?
Yeah, no, it's not like the Harry Potter movies, which is why in a way I think the Harry Potter movies, even though I like this movie better, I think that those movies and those screenplays were probably tighter than this was, because this doesn't have a source material. They're basically making them as they go along. And what this film does is it's basically trying to seed these 5 extra movies, which and what happened was, I think in October of this year.
No, it is a book.
No. Like, when you read what the book is, it's not really a book. It's not a story book. It's basically
what is it?
From what I understand,
I see it's 128 pages.
Basically,
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them is a 2001 book written by J.K. Rowling under the pseudonym Newt. So it's supposed to be his book. About the magical creatures that he's carrying around in the film. Okay, so she wrote a screenplay for a film about a book.
Exactly.
It's under a pseudonym character that she wrote as if she were the character that she now made a whole film about and put a story around.
Exactly. And now you see why.
Oh, that's weird.
Well, now you see why. Again, in October they announced that instead of it being a trilogy, it was going to be 5 movies, and that's when it hit me. I'm like, oh, that's why this first screenplay is such a mess. One, it's 2 different stories going on at the same time. And I think the larger story, like I think that the screenplay will make more sense once you've seen all 5 movies, because this is so definitely confusing. It's definitely setting up for movies down the line. This is basically you know what this is? This is basically seeding the world in this 70 years before Harry Potter to get Harry Potter fans into this new thing, and they know that people are going to show up and watch it. They know people are going to enjoy it, and that's what it is. And because they got such a great cast, because the chemistry between the cast is so great, because it looks fantastic, because It's funny. You're gonna be smiling and enjoying yourself. It doesn't, like, as much as I'm saying that the script is a mess, it doesn't matter that it's a mess.
I completely get why it's a mess now. This is a film that was created as a spinoff, and I don't think this has ever been done. No. It is created as the spinoff of the About section of a fictional textbook.
Well, no,
from a film about fictional characters.
It's been done before. You want to know when it was done before?
Who did it?
Kind of similar to that. Interstellar. Christopher Nolan did that with Interstellar. He basically made a movie based off of like a theorem that somebody wrote a term paper on. So it's been done before.
Was the person who wrote the term paper the lead in the film?
That's what I was about to say. I do not believe.
Because this is different. This is literally a film that she created.
I'm gonna get
from a character mentioned in the About section of a textbook, of a fictitious textbook that students in a fictitious film are required to fictitiously read.
I am gonna get in so much trouble.
This is some fictitious inception. Like, I don't understand. Like, the fact that I gotta call it genius, because I would never be crazy enough to do some shit like this.
I'm gonna get in so much trouble for this. I just don't think. I don't think J.K. does good screenplays. I'm just gonna say it right there. I just don't think that's her thing.
I mean, she probably writes really good books, but I don't read the books, so I don't know.
Questionable.
And
now I'm going back and I'm looking at some of the other movies. This might be her first screenplay because she didn't do the screenplays for the other movies, not for all movies.
See, Chris, I've had grown men tell me who have kids. I give them that they have kids who have told me that the Harry Potter books are better, much better than the films are, and I believe them because that's typically how it works with source material. It's usually much better than the film is, except for BFG. The BFG book I thought wasn't that great compared to the film.
She didn't write the screen. So this might be her first screenplay. So that can kind of also explain why it's such a mess.
But I didn't even just think the screenplay was a mess. I thought the editing was a mess because it literally jumps from scene to scene to scene to scene. The transition from scene, it's not even the transition from scene to scene. It's the transitioning from plot to plot.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
It's not fluid. You're watching one plot develop, and then they cut to the next scene, and you got to switch your mind back to the other story that you're watching, and then that plot develops a little bit, and then you got to switch back. So you got to make sure that your mind is in the right place when watching the development of characters in this film, because you could be watching the development of a character based on a scene that you just saw, and those scenes are actually completely unrelated. And not even until later on in the film, they just are unrelated. There might actually be 3 films in this film.
Yeah, true.
A romance film that's in the middle that actually kind of steals the show for the whole middle portion of this film.
That was a really good one. You're right. It switches between, like, there is one editing scene because they also have, so you have Ezra Miller in this film, and he's orphan being raised by, and I don't know the character, but he's been raised in an orphanage with these other small characters, and he plays a significant role in the film. It comes about, and there's a part in this film where you're with Scamander and Goldstein. They're doing something probably funny, and then it cuts to this scene with Ezra Miller and them. He plays Credence. And it's so dark, but it comes out of nowhere. I was watching.
I mean, it's really dark.
I mean, and it like when I say it's dark, I mean I don't think. Like, granted, the last 2 films, like, people started dying, but like it's dark. Like, I don't remember.
Dude, there's abuse in this film like that. That's child stuff I wasn't expecting.
Right. Well, that's another reason why I like the film. It's like it's a more adult film. It kind of reminds me of going from Smallville. How CW went from Smallville to Arrow on CW, and it's like, okay, what happened was your audience grew up, so now you can tell a more adult and darker story because the people you got with Smallville are now fucking adults, and I feel like that's what they did with this. So it's a very dark thing, but like you said, the transition between that other scene and this one it comes out of nowhere and it almost takes you out of the film. It doesn't, only because, again, the acting is great, the characters do their job, and it's an entertaining enough film that you're not completely pulled out of it. But I'm telling you right now, any other fucking film, we would be killing it for that. Like, you think we're killing this now? No, we're still trying to tell you, you're going to go see this film, you're going to enjoy it, you're going to like it. But any other film did this? Oh my God, we would kill that.
I mean, the fact of the matter is, the film, we watch films all year long. Now, if you listen to these reviews and you think we're not good at picking up on subtle things, the film's like, I figured out this film in the very beginning. As soon as I saw a character, I was like, that's the bad guy.
Right.
But, and I like, it was,
it's so obvious.
You can't do that. Sometimes you can't do that in your films. Like, sometimes you can't cast certain people in certain roles if people are privy to who that person is. Because it completely ruins the twist of your film, which there is a twist, and people who read the manuscript or whatever, maybe you don't know. I don't know, because I don't know what people know about this film. I do know that I picked up on certain things in the beginning that ended up being like that in the end, and I was like, okay, cool. And then there are other things that they just did not put enough effort into developing in this film, and I have no idea the importance or the significance of these characters. For one, Colin Farrell. I do not understand the significance of his character. I don't know what his motivation was. I don't know what he was trying to do. I don't know what's going on with him. All I know is he's evil. That's the only thing I know. I don't know why he's evil. I don't know what his evil plan is. I don't know who pissed in his cereal. Like, I don't know what's going on with his character. I just know he's a badass evil wizard or whatever. And I don't know why.
And that's not a spoiler. Because as soon as you see him, you're going, oh, you're the bad guy.
He's evil. What's Colin fucking Farrell?
Right. You're like, oh, you're the bad guy. You're the bad guy. Okay. Like, you just.
And they don't really explain the structure of this either. Like, the character that they had playing the president. The president of what? The president of the Wizards of New York? Like, what is she?
Yeah, they don't. They don't really.
But granted, that's see, I assume that I could go read some source material and get that, and maybe I can. I'm sure there is lore to the like to the eons out here for this, but I don't want to go searching for that shit because I'm 31 years old and I have to pay a mortgage. Like, that's not what I'm trying to do with these films. I understand that people want to do that. Like, you know, have fun, go at it. I feel like there's a lot you can get from here if it's available that you'll want to read after watching this movie, because there are just so many blanks throughout the script where they're like, and then he blank. And you're like, well, what? Then he what? Don't worry about it. You'll find out later, maybe, if we decide to tell you. Blank. Come see our sequel. Blank. Like, okay. They just didn't, like, they developed, while they do that, and it sounds like we're nitpicking, but we're really not, because I'm not a kid and I don't know this information, and there's really not a place it seems that I can go get it from, or I don't know where. Maybe I can. Let me know. But but here's the thing. I will say this about this is why I think that while I enjoy this movie more, I don't think you have that problem with the other Harry Potter movies. Like, they explain things, they give you the rules, they let you know these things. Things just kind of happen in this film, and you're just like, but why is that important? Like, but Kriss, it took a whole 7 films to get Harry Potter's significance up to par.
No. But I get that. But it's like, you still understand certain things. Like for instance, when Scamander shows up to New York in this film, him showing up is never really fully explained a lot. I mean, they do, but they don't, and it doesn't make any sense. And then there's a whole thing, and I can't remember what do they call that little cult that Ezra that Credence is.
I can't even know.
I can't remember what it was called. It was something that they were called, but they never explained why that existed. And like, you're kind of just plopped in the middle of this world, and there. Now, I will say if you when the film starts, you need to pay attention to the newspaper that opens up, because that'll give you some information. Like, that newspaper that comes up and it kind of changes with different news. Pay attention to that when the film first starts. That'll give you some information. Well, if that's the case,
then that moves too fast, because I was trying to read the headlines that they were trying to focus on, and it moves too fast.
It does. It doesn't give you a lot. I mean, there's a whole subplot here with, hey, you know, they in America they call they call them nomads, you know, muggles. They call them nomads, and they're trying to the president is trying to make sure that they stay hidden, but there's something attacking people in the streets, and they're trying to find out what that is. Now, you would think that this means, Scamander's bringing a case full of these fantastic beasts. One of them got out, and he's going to help them catch it and things like that. But the film doesn't go that way. Like the thing that's going on with the president and what they're trying to stop is so much different. It's really not like they try to relate it to what Scamander has and is doing, but not really. And it's just, yeah. I mean, like I said, it's a very confusing. Not even confusing. It's just a mess of a plot. And
I don't think it's confusing. I just think that they don't. Yeah. I don't think they had enough time. Given how long it seems that this script was, they had to do a hell of a lot of editing, and the things that they sacrificed, the plot points and the story that is missing here, that they kind of just juxtapose all of these scenes together and all these stories together at one time, and you just kind of go with the flow of it. While it's choppy, it's a very engaging film. Like it's beautiful to watch. It's extremely. We don't really get a lot of fantastical films now. A lot of fantastical films seem like factory cranked out. They don't really have. They really just don't have the fantasy element to them. There's no wonder. There's no amazement when you watch them. Nothing feels big. Nothing feels new. With this film, they do that. Like you can't take away from the fact that introducing these beasts into this film is one of the best parts of the film, and giving them all their own little personalities, and him understanding, him having notes on these creatures and their way to handle them and the way he goes about it. And I feel like they really put a lot of effort into making him a magizoologist, a magizoologist. That's an ugly word. They could have came up with a better word than magizoologist.
I think one of the things that really stands out about the film that's really great is, like you said, they give, and I'm starting to like when they do things like this. They did it with the Cloak of Levitation in Doctor Strange. You give things that don't normally have personalities, you think wouldn't have personalities. So one of the I would say his arch nemesis creatures in this looks like some kind of, I don't know, like a platypus. I don't even know what you would call this creature. I don't remember what he called it.
It's a platyduckpuss.
Yeah, and it's stealing shiny things. So it's a recurring theme with this creature always trying to steal things like gold and things like that. And it's really, really funny. And it has its own personality. and he talks, it doesn't talk in, like none of the creatures talk like English, but you can just tell he has another little tree, like little root thing, like his own version of Groot. And that's kind of cute. Like it's all these creatures he interacts with and has these conversations with. And they're done really well. They look amazing and they're cute, and you can't help but smile and laugh and enjoy them and root and hope that he captures them all and nothing dies, So it's like that part is great.
So I found a little bit of information from doing some Googling real quick. If you are confused as we are confused, it looks like, and I'm sure Rollins fans already knew this, Rollins has published dozens of stories and essays on her Pottermore website designed to expand your basic knowledge of the wizarding world. I'm not going to read that. but that just means I'm not dedicated to fully understanding all of the elements of this film. I'm not that pulled into it. But anybody who is, there you go. Like, she actually does supply some answers, hopefully, for a lot of things that are just missing for you to better understand. This just isn't like J.R.R. Tolkien, where he would put like whole maps of what he would describe in the words in these books so that you could see what the hobbits saw and what the dwarves saw. Like, this is the way she does it now. She doesn't include it in the film, and she might not even include a book with it, but she will release the screenplay, which there was a screenplay called The Cursed Child, it looks like, for this. But it's exactly what the movie is, so reading that isn't really going to help you learn anything new.
Yeah, I don't think that, one, I don't think you can do that with movies. Like, that's not a good way to go forward. And two, I don't think reading any of that stuff would make the screenplay any less of a mess. I mean, it's missing things that you need to have basics in a film. But again, like you said, like there's things like what was it? Dan Fogler and Alison Sudol, Jacob and Queenie. Like there's this whole thing with them two that, listen, you guys know me. I don't, I don't fuck around with like these kind of romance. It's adorable. Those two are adorable in this film, and you fucking you enjoy it. Like the film literally gets off on like even with Redmond and Watterson working together and what they go through. Like you enjoy seeing these characters, and even Redmond when you can hear them. You enjoy seeing them interact with each other. They form genuine bonds, and you like that. It covers up the flaws that are there in the movie. Like you never really understand. Even you know he's evil. You never understand what, like you said, what's going on with Percival Graves.
Okay, let me take that back. I won't say you don't really understand what's going on with him because you will eventually. There is a character that we did not mention in this review, and I feel like mentioning it would be spoiler. And if you pay attention to the beginning of the film, that character is already mentioned in the newspaper clipping. So that I think that is a significant point to you better understanding other characters' motives a little bit, but not really. But
no, what I meant was like who is he to the president? Like, is he head agent?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Is he, what is his character? Like, you don't know what his role is and what his you don't like they don't like you said before about the president. Do you have a president? You kind of assume that I guess he's president of all wizarding in North America, I guess, but they don't set that up so you don't even know what these characters are supposed to be. So when
I have
when he goes
so
to
many
do
questions
this,
about how did he even get in there, and are they going to explain this in future films?
Exactly.
And that's what I'm worried about, that they're not going to explain those things, that they're just going to kind of leave them up in the air to make you come watch the sequels to see if you get more information. Kind of the same way they introduce you to Zoe Kravitz's character in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, come see the next film because
she's got to be in the next
Zoe
film.
Kravitz. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
That wasn't like an in-scene thing. Now, I don't know how much more there is to say. I think the music was great. But I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, I feel like we had a film like this year. And it caused a huge upset. Because it missed parts. And explanations and points, and people didn't know what the fuck they were watching or why they were watching it or why any of these things were happening. And that film is Batman versus Superman. So what makes this film okay? And I'm not asking you because I like the film. I'm just asking, like, from your perspective, what makes Fantastic Beasts okay in its choppiness and not really developing, but explaining motivations of characters compared to Batman versus Superman, basically kind of doing the exact same thing for some people, not really explaining motivations and having these missing parts or what seemed like scenes, only to release 30 minutes of deleted scenes later on with the DVD, like, which I still haven't watched because I don't care to watch it.
I can tell you exactly what it is and why people will like this film. And it won't get the same hate that Batman vs. Superman did. I didn't feel like it was a chore to watch.
Okay.
Like, Batman vs. Superman, you watch that. Like, I never went back to watch it again. Like, I think I can watch this film again. I was going to go back and watch Batman vs. Superman again because I think there was so much in there. Like, this film, it crams so much in there. And there is disjointed things in there. But it's enjoyable. Like, I can go back and like, hey, look, I can watch 15 minutes of Queenie and Jacob, right? And be fine. True. I can watch, I can go and watch the creatures and Redmond interacting with, like, so there's a part there's a part in the film where he does a mating call for a creature. And it is just,
it's entertaining.
It is so entertaining.
I mean, it's kind of enchanting, right? Like,
right.
It is what the title is. It is very fantastical.
Right.
Like, all of it, you're kind of just watching and just amazed by it all. And so I understand what you're saying. Watching Batman versus Superman, I could definitely see that being a chore for people. Versus this is just fun.
You're right.
This is like, it's dark, and then after it's dark for a couple, and they don't make it very dark very long.
Right.
So there are a lot of dark scenes, but they're very short scenes. And the scenes that are very beautiful and big and fabulous and, warm your soul and shit like that, those scenes last a really long time.
Because, look, I'll be honest. there's something they do at the very, very end of this film. I was like, that's a cheat code. I was like, oh, really? That's just how we're gonna do that?
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh well, that was okay.
It was, but I wasn't even mad.
No, you're not even mad though.
Tired of watching the movie at that point.
I mean, but that's why this. I think you're absolutely right in making that comparison.
By the way, they never explained that either because that was supposed to be Newt's motivation, but they never really explained why that was his motivation.
Nope, don't explain that.
Completely left that shit up in the air.
No, there's a lot of questions I had about that because I'm like, wait a minute, but there are people inside. How are they? Okay, fuck it, whatever.
Like, he got way more specific with where he wanted to do certain things, but they never explained the specificity of this. Like, why does it...
We're gonna get so much hate for this because, like, I think your comparison to Batman vs Superman is spot on because, again, that's another mess of a fucking screenplay. I think the huge difference is, I don't want to say better acting, but better acting for the movie that is being made. And this is just more entertaining. Like, there are things that happen and you're just like, I don't know why this is happening, but I'm entertained, so I'll go with it.
I liked all the characters. I liked the main characters.
Yeah, I loved all the characters. Even the evil, fucked up ones. You're like, in like, the dark moments are dark, but they're not. But again, unlike Batman vs Superman, they know not to go too fucking far with the darkness. Mm-hmm. Like, it gets, like you said, we get the child abuse. We get some fucked up things going on there. I mean, there's another thing too. At one point between two characters, I'm like, are they gay? Is this like, I was kind of confused by that. I'm like, you're getting kind of like it was very like this is like a very, very adult version of anything. The most adult thing I think you'll have in the Harry Potter universe, which I think helps them. But it's entertaining. Like I said, you'll enjoy the characters. You'll root for the characters. It's beautiful to watch. And there's moments when you see where all these creatures are, where they're storing all the creatures, and it's like you said, it's amazing. And you might get choked up a couple times. You'll laugh. You might want to, might get dusty sometimes. Like, I really did enjoy the film despite the glaring flaws there. And I definitely think people that are Harry Potter fans, you guys are going to be all in. I think you have nothing to worry about. You're going to go to watch this film and really enjoy it.
I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Why is Angelina Jolie's father in this film?
Oh, dude, here's the thing. Again, spoiler alert. I am mad that he's not the villain of this film. You can't put Jon Voight in this fucking film and not make him the fucking villain.
I think he's going to be the villain in later films.
He's got to be.
Kept kind of doing this thing with him and his kids.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, again, this is another one of those films. It's such a setup film, which, again, the comparison to Batman vs. Superman holds up for that. It sets up so much other stuff, and you can see them planting Siege. I just think it does it way better.
Also, shout out to Ron Perlman, man.
Oh, I figured out who he was as soon as he walked on screen. Look. Ron Perlman plays a CGI character. But you're going to see him and go, that's Ron Perlman. Like,
before he speaks, you're going to be like, that's Ron Perlman.
Before he speaks, yo. Because I saw him and was like, is that Ron Perlman? And, like, it's so good.
It's good. I also think the Harry Potter stuff works for this time period. Like this 1920s or 18, whatever it's supposed to be.
1926, I believe, is when the film was set. I think they do... I think there's another reason why you might enjoy it, because I think you said that the reason why you really enjoyed the last two films for Harry Potter films, because they finally did some wizarding stuff. They do wizarding shit in this film.
Oh, they do so much wizard
There's
power.
So much wizarding shit going on. Yeah. There is so much wizarding. They be wizarding the fuck out of this film. Yeah.
They open up the film doing magic, like the whole way. Like Newt shows up doing magic. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was dope. Even his suitcase was magical.
Yeah.
Which they reveal how magical that shit is later. Again, they didn't explain that either.
Right.
But
I'm okay with that though.
What? Right. I just kind of let it go because I just don't understand the super suitcase.
Yeah.
The all-powerful suitcase.
I mean, look, I want one of them joints so that you never have to worry about checking a bag ever again on a fucking plane, yo. Like, that's what I'm saying. You would never need to check a bag ever. But, yeah, they be wizard, and it's not like just the... I'm sorry to say the kids shit. They be magicking the fuck out of this film, and I think it's a very adult
It's a good family film, man.
Yeah, I think so. I think you'll enjoy it. I think people that are fans of Harry Potter will enjoy it. So, yeah, check it out, guys. So, what would you give this film out of 10?
Well, got to run the Rotten Tomatoes. See what they're saying about this. All right. So, Rotten Tomatoes is saying for Fantastic Beasts that my browser is loading really, really slowly right now. And then it just went away. That was not fantastic. Hold on. What the fuck? It's like I can't even load the beats. They're too fantastic.
I got it coming up. So,
okay.
It's saying you'll get there's an 84% chance to give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah. I actually think that's a low rating. I think it is actually like an 8 out of 10. Despite the choppiness, there's just so much other fantastical shit, which is what you're really going to the theater for anyway. I understand some people might be going for the story because there really is no source material for this, and you can only read essays and screenplays. But I think this is a really good film, a really good Harry Potter-ish film. Like, I actually want to see the sequels for this.
Yeah, I'd watch the sequels.
Go, and I hope all these characters come back.
Yeah, I mean, just again, I had to get the choppiness and the negatives out of the way at the beginning, but I'd probably would give it a 7.5 out of 10. But at the same time, again, I think this is one of my more favorite of the Harry Potter movies, and I'd be more interested in what. Like, I didn't really care about seeing this or not. I'd want to see the sequels after this.
They actually did a lot, and this actually they did some stuff that clearly was meant for 3D IMAX, so go see this in 3D IMAX.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
They still, like, there's a scene in particular where he throws one of these beasts at the audience, and I was like, that was meant for 3D. So go see this in 3D IMAX.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's definitely something to check out, and I think people will enjoy it. So yeah, if this is something you want to go see, go check it out. Well, I'll round it up to 8 out of 10. And there you guys have it. So you can find the rest of our reviews on movietrailerreviews.net or mtrnetwork.net. Search for mtrnetwork.net on iTunes or Stitcher Radio. Yeah, folks. And until next time, we're out of here. Peace.